Hello, good evening, dear viewers of Mountain Echoes, live on DMRTV, Divine Mercy Radio Television. We are coming your way live this evening. Office of the Public Independent Conciliator for the Southwest region in Buea, Cameroon. Well, on Mountain Echoes, we bring to you current issues and we bring guests who are able to dissect these issues to your own understanding. Tonight, we are going to be looking at this office 4 years after the major national dialogue, which created a special status state for the Northwest and the Southwest regions that are currently still battling an ongoing crisis. And so this evening, we are going to be talking 4 years after the major national dialogue that held in Yaoundé from September 30th to the 4th of October 2019, the role of the Office of the Public Independent Conciliator in the decentralization process. So tonight, we are going to be having the conciliator herself, the Public Independent Conciliator for the Southwest region as our guest. We hope that you're going to have a very nice time for about 1 hour, 15 minutes that we have to be together. My name is Jude Mbaku, your host for tonight. Now, let us quickly just get to our guest who is here. We are having a makeshift studio, and we are so happy to have you. Good evening, Madam Telelen Dorothy Atabong, Public Independent Conciliator for the Southwest region of Cameroon. Thanks for having us today.
Good evening, viewers of Divine Mercy Radio and Television of the Diocese of Buea. Good evening, Mr. Mbaku and your team. Evening.
All right. So we want to thank you very much. It's not every day we opportunity to have guests of your caliber to really dissect issues like this, which are really misunderstood in our context today. So tonight we are looking 4 years after the major national dialogue, and we understand that there were many from the special status that came out of the national dialogue for the Northwest and the Southwest region. There were different collectivities that were created, and this is supposed to be one of such office that was created. Can you tell us, how, by the way, how is this structure doing? How is the Office of the Public Independent Conciliator for the Southwest doing?
The Office of the Public Independent Conciliator of the Southwest is faring well. It's faring relatively well because we are striving to ensure that we sensitize the population, we inform them, and we educate them on what we are supposed to do and what we are doing based on the missions assigned to us.
So 4 years down the lane, I know that before then, 4 years when we had the major national dialogue, this office had not been created. But look, let's take us back down the lane. 4 years when we had the major national dialogue, this should be the 4th anniversary. What memories can you make of that dialogue? And how much appreciation do you hold of the implementation of the resolutions?
The major national dialogue was a tool that led to the creation of certain institutions, not only in the Southwest and Northwest regions, but peculiar to the Southwest and Northwest regions is the fact that we were granted a special status. After the major national dialogue, regional councils were created in the 8 French-speaking regions of the country. And in the Southwest and Northwest regions, we were given a special status. Representatives and a House of Chiefs. This is something like what existed in the West Cameroon system of government, because the West Cameroon House of Assembly had a House of Chiefs, and then it had the House of the representatives from other divisions, then in the Southwest and Northwest regions. So, aside this creation of the Regional Assembly, we had now this institution, the Office of the Public Independent Conciliator, which has been put in place 2 years, 3 months ago. Of chiefs and the House of Divisional Representatives makes it different, makes these two regions different, because the Regional Assembly has a regional executive body made up of 8 members that coordinates the activities of the Regional Assembly in the Southwest and Northwest regions. Whereas in the other 8 regions, the regional councils exist, and the president of the regional councils take the major decisions that the major decisions in the building. So we have an added advantage because it's a group of persons that see into how the development of the Northwest and Southwest region goes on. And the House of Chiefs is there to liaise with our colleagues at the village level to ensure that whatever decision is taken by the 20 members who make up the House of Chiefs in the Southwest region goes down to the fields, to all the different collectivities, to all the villages, because they talk with their colleagues and they are able to come out with issues and solve problems at the local level. That aside, the Office of the Public Independent Conciliator came into existence, like I said, 2 years, 3 months ago. And this office had a specific mandate of 6 years. It has a specific mandate. The PIC has a mandate of 6 years. I'll be here for 6 years and I go, it's non-renewable. And we have 6 missions.
Okay.
The first mission is to ensure that disputes, misunderstandings, disagreements that occur because users who go to the councils in the Southwest region and in the Northwest region, who go to the city councils or the local councils, or go to the regional assemblies in these 2 regions, seek some services, and they have some problems. Getting those, we resolve by coming together, the 3 actors, the persons who complain. It could be an individual or a legal unit who is like representing an individual. When I say a legal unit, it is like you come up and form a business. You are like a legal institution which can also table a problem to this office in case they have a misunderstanding with the regional assembly, the city or local council. So we sit the 3 actors and we resolve this issue. We design and implement measures which we ensure that persons are fairly treated. We ensure that people are not discriminated against when they go to these collectivities. And then we also follow up to see that persons who are working in the regional assemblies or in the councils, be they city or local councils, do the work they are supposed to do. They respect their ethical obligations towards the users who come there without putting them under pressure, without asking for. That is councillors of the regional assemblies of the Northwest and Southwest, or 5 parliamentarians, see that something is not working in any of the councils in these 2 regions, and they write to this office that we should investigate what the worry is. Then this office will go into it and carry out the investigation. And in this case, any documents that we ask for from either the regional council or the local council or the city council, they are supposed to give us so that we come out with a good and comprehensive study of the situation and a resolution that will be beneficial not only to the complainant but also to the institution.
Right.
And of course, at the end of the year, the two of us, the public independent conciliator of the Northwest and the Southwest, will write an annual report which we submit to the President of the Republic on the functioning of the councils in these two regions.
All right.
So that is our mission.
What you've painted, it definitely shows that the special status so far is a blessing to the Northwest and the Southwest, because most definitely it's the Northwest and the Southwest only that have this status. Now, the public independent conciliator, when you look at 2 years, 3 months so far that you have been in this building, have they been making use of this office? I'm talking about those who are supposed to lay their complaints, their disagreements. Have you been able to have files to treat so far? What's the relationship?
Thank you for that very important question. I want to say that we have received complaints. In the Southwest region, I've received 59 complaints.
Involving what?
Involving contractors, involving worker hierarchy relationship, involving the provision of certain amenities, which are the rights of the users. We have received that. But I want to say that we have carried out a lot of sensitization and have gone down to the grassroots and still continue to do so to empower the local population of our working instruments. Each time we go out to the field, we give out the legal framework. The legal framework that we've carved out from the general code for regional and local authorities. We've gone into it and the decree appointing us and extracted so that when we leave the population, they can go through the document to understand better why we are created, not from the air. And then we have the brochure that gives a synthesis of what this office is all about, how to go about the complaint procedure, who can complain, who cannot complain, and how even those who are not literate can present their complaints to us. So we have this in the brochures, and aside that, we have posters that when we go out, we live with the mayors, because we have a lot of these meetings bringing in many other people in the community, organizing like town hall meetings, and the mayors and the chiefs of bureau or service heads, so that they understand the office better, and we talk together with the population so that they can improve on service delivery, improve on governance, be accountable to the population that elected them, so that the population can be happy with the services they receive, and of course, we shall enjoy and we can have peace. Because when people go and things are not working, that is what creates a lot of tension.
Right.
And this office is there to appease this tension at the grassroots level. And for all of us, it's not only some people who go to the council, all of us go. We know how important the council is. The council issues a lot of very important documents: birth certificates, marriage certificates, death certificates, building permits, door numbers for taxi, coordinates the market activities, has municipal police, runs the parks. So we can see that the council is a very important institution, and it's very important that those living in the different municipalities are satisfied with the services the council gives them. But of course, also respecting their engagements to the councils. Right. Because it's not like the council. No. If the council decides that today is clean up in a particular municipality. Everybody in the municipality, the council, to engage in the hygiene and sanitation campaign to ensure that cleanliness prevails. And when there is cleanliness, diseases disappear. And it's better to prevent than to treat the diseases. So if you are a market vendor or you are an economic operator in town, maybe a taxi driver, you own a store, whatever you are doing, you have taxes you have to pay to the council. You should respect that. It should not be like, no, it's only the council. It is both ways, give and take.
All right. So you're now like the mediator between the population and the regional and their councils.
And the councils.
Now, when it happens like this, is there any points where you realize an overlapping role? That is, the council. Has the council come at any point to say that, okay, this is what I should have been doing to oversee this, the implementation of this order, and now the public independent conciliator is coming in to do this? What's the relationship between your office and these councils in executing this daunting task?
The relationship is cordial. It's cordial between me and the mayors, but of course, you know, some complainants, they usually come up with unjustified complaints. And what I try to do is to work in synergy with the mayor. Because I want to reiterate and remind us here, the viewers, that before any complaint comes to the office of the Public Independent Conciliator, the complainant must have first written to the Lord Mayor of the municipality concerned. If you go to a council service, or you are a market vendor, or you have some grievance with anybody working in the council, because the mayor is the head of the institution, the complainant will write a complaint to the mayor, quoting the service and explaining exactly what happens, which should be true. It should not be some cooked up story. It should be a true story. You write to the mayor, you give your justification, and you give time to the mayor, maybe like 1 month or 1 month, 2 weeks, because Lord Mayors are not sitting in their offices. They go to international meetings, they go to national meetings, they go to the field. They have a lot of things they are doing. So when a complainant tables a complaint, it gives some reasonable time so that the Lord Mayor goes through the complaint. If the Lord Mayor gives a response that the person thinks is discriminatory or unjust, then the person will write now to the Public Independent Conciliator, attaching a copy of the complaint. Because when you go, I want to remind viewers that when you go and hand any document to the council, let it be received and you get a copy.
Dispatch copy.
The dispatch notice, you make a photocopy and attach to the complaint that you are bringing to the office of the public. That way, we are working closely. The relationship is very cordial, and when such complaints come, I get to the mayor, I write to them, I call, and we fix a date, and we sit. It's true that some of the results that we are supposed to get are not forthcoming, especially when it comes to suppliers, contractors who have delivered projects that have been provisionally received and their payments not executed. It is sometimes not easy, especially when it is not the incumbent mayor who handles the project. But I call on the population to say, all hopes are not lost. We still try to talk to the mayor so that they see that the person has invested and some payment can be done progressively.
Right.
So we have a cordial relationship. We are not fighting. Our roles are clearly spelled out. They are the owners of the city. The President of the Republic put this structure because in our own Anglo-Saxon way and the way we grew up, A lot of issues and misunderstandings were solved at the local level. That is the role of this office, the mediator, the conciliator, bringing peace among brothers and sisters who have a disagreement. So that is the role. We are not a court. That is why services in this office are free of charge.
Talking about courts, one would think that when you have those litigations coming into your office, you may have a legal platform or a channel which you solve the issues. When you receive these issues, do you solve them at the office here with some kind of understanding? Or do you have the possibility of pushing them to a legal entity like the court?
No, anybody who comes here. Thank you very much for that question. It's a very important question. Our services are free of charge. And we have nothing to do with any issue that has been taken to court. So if anybody has a litigation that has gone to court, then the court will handle it till the end. Any matter that has gone to the court, we can no longer handle it. But if somebody sees that he or she had taken a matter to court, but they had not started looking into it, and thinks that he or she can withdraw it and bring it to our office, then we are open to that. But we cannot side by side handle a case that it is in court and the person brings it here. This is not a legal institution.
Okay.
Anybody who wants anything that has to do with the law should go to the court where it will be judged and a loser and a winner declared.
Here everyone wins.
Here is a win-win situation. So you come here, we talk in a friendly matter, we embrace ourselves, we drink from the same cup water, and we walk in out of the office, and we go to the community, and we are living happily like we were. So this office does not handle litigations that bring in lawyers. No. The complainant comes, we sit the three actors, the office, the complainant, the municipality, and we talk like brothers and sisters, and the issue is resolved once and for all.
All right, Madam Telelen, Dorothy, most events that we have in Boya now, we have authorities. When we have the governor, we have the president of the regional assembly. The next official we are looking at is a public independent conciliator, and then the mayors and the DOs and all. You are in the rank of those who make maybe the decisions or who implement decisions now as far as governance is concerned in this part of the country. When you look at other structures, these other structures that have been created within the context of the special status, can you satisfactorily say that it is a welcoming
In the affirmative, I say yes. Yes, because we have received very enthusiastic welcome on the field. In our meetings, we brought in traditional rulers. We've brought in civil society organization leaders. We've brought in the youths. We've brought in the Lord Mayors. We've brought in market vendors. We've brought in economic operators. We've brought in everybody in the community, and we've sat in one hall, and they have been very happy. They have been very happy with what we are doing. Apart from informing them and educating them, when they learn for the first time, they think that this structure is a wonderful structure that has been put at their disposal to ensure that things that they did not know about or that they thought that they must take to the court, they cannot come to us, and we resolve it without them spending any money. So they are very happy, and like you mentioned, the regional assembly has its role. If you can bear with me, the regional assembly of the Northwest and the Southwest have done a lot to the community. In the Southwest, every division has experienced that something different has come to the region. They have handled things that hitherto used to be sent to the national level, and it takes a long time. The roof of GHS Boya, for instance, was blown off just before the GCE. The Regional Assembly of the Southwest came and replaced the roof so that students should write their exam and marking should go on. There is a lot of rural electrification. Boreholes have been created in many communities. So the impact is felt on the ground. Just like the impact of the Office of the Public Independent Conciliator is felt on the ground. The governor of the Southwest region there. This structure is created by the President of the Republic, who represents the state of Cameroon. The Regional Assembly is created by the President of the Republic. There is no war between these structures and the states, whether in the Southwest region or in the Northwest region. So we work in synergy, and the representative of the state, who is the governor at the regional level, and when we go to divisional levels, we have meetings. The SDO is the representative of the state, just like the divisional officer is the representative of the state at the subdivisional level. That is how the state functions. So when they are always with us. So there is no fight between these structures and the state, because the state put us in place so that there will be good governance, so that we can resolve those issues that are vexing and that has maybe escalated some of the problems we are facing, that if we had handled them before, we will not be at this level.
Which we are today. Now, talking about your activities on the field, when I go through your website, I see the work that the Office of the Public Independent Conciliator have been doing in some localities. We have 6 divisions in the Southwest region. Have you been able to penetrate all of them to carry out this task of sensitizing people and empowering people on their responsibilities? I know that true. You've been doing around FACO. We've seen some work around FACO. I don't know about the other divisions. Have you been able to go into other divisions, say Nzian, Kupe Manuguba? How is the situation there?
We have gone to all the divisions except Lebialem.
Okay.
We've been to Manu. In Manu, we brought all the 4 mayors of Manu division, bureau heads of these 4 municipalities, the traditional rulers from all the 4 subdivisions, and business operators. It was a very successful meeting, and the traditional rulers were very happy and promised to carry the message to their different quarters and villages. In Kupe Manenguba, we've been to Bangem, where we had a similar meeting like that of Manu. Then we were in Tombe, grouping together Lord Mayors of Lebialem and Kupe Manenguba, all the Lord Mayors, and chiefs of bureau of key services of the councils. Which are these key services? Civil status registration, urban development. Town planning, hygiene and sanitation.
Okay.
And of course, we brought in the municipal police, because we can recall that if citizens go to the council, they are going for civil status registration documents. We need hygiene and sanitation in town. We talk to the municipal police so that they know how to handle their sisters in the market. Hygiene and sanitation, we talk, we bring in everybody, so that together in synergy with the Lord Mayors, we keep our towns, our municipalities clean. We had this because we thought that it was not ready for us to enter Lebialem, but we are definitely going to do before the end of this year. For FACO, you know, we had series of meetings. We brought in the regional assembly, the regional executive council of the regional assembly, all Lord Mayors in the Southwest, municipal and city. We had a grand meeting. And then in Limbe, we had a meeting in which we brought in Lord Mayors of Ndian. There are 9 of them. 9 of them chiefs of bureau of key services, these ones I've mentioned, Lord Mayors of Fako. It was a very big and wonderful meeting. We learned a lot. We talked a lot on how they have to treat and receive users who come to their services to seek, especially birth certificates, which is a right to all Cameroonians. And the Lord Mayors enlightened who left their children to go above 3 months before they came to make the birth certificate. They bring the court declaration and they ask only for fiscal and communal stamp, no extra charges. But if you have your baby and you come to the council before 3 months, you don't need to go to the court to make a court declaration. You only bring the hospital attestation and you pay the money for the fiscal and municipal stamp. We're enlightened on how they carry out the activities. We've had series of meetings. So we've been to Kupe Manenguba, Manu, Meme. In Meme, we brought all the Lord Mayors of the 5 municipalities, Mbonge, Kumba 1, Kumba 2, Kumba 3, Konye. They were there. And the chiefs of bureau. So in Ndian, I have sent collaborators who have gone to Munemba, Ekondo Titi, Bamuso, and Idabato. They went there to sample the opinion of the population in the marketplaces, in off licenses, whether they have even heard of this office. And there was a questionnaire they went with, which led us to understand that in some places our office is not known. What I have done is that all the local languages in the Southwest region are broadcasting about this office since April. Our missions, I work with the station manager, the regional manager for CRTV radio stations. CRTV Boya. The regional station, they are broadcasting in the local languages. All the local languages in the Southwest, they will broadcast everything you see in that brochure. The complaint procedure, who can bring a complaint, who cannot bring a complaint, the telephone number, everything they are giving them. That aside, I am working with Ultimate Radio, Bangem, Voice of Manu, Ocean City Radio, Kumba, Lakeside Radio, Ocean City, Limbe. In fact, everywhere in the Southwest where there are radio stations, I have sent out spots in English and Pidgin. So they pass those spots at peak periods. That is a continuous daily sensitization. And then they have small periods that of maybe 5 minutes or 3 minutes that they have the brochure, they have our legal framework based on the memorandum of understanding we've all signed. They talk about this office. So I think that we are touching the population of the Southwest region to the best of our abilities.
Right. Now, talking about touching the populations, I've seen activities where you've been able to talk to traders in the market, bring them in a common platform, and also seen where your office was able to bring other top officials like you just mentioned. I want to believe that they are heeding to the cause and they are making use of this office like you've enumerated. Let us get to this other aspect which I want to understand. The Office of the Public Independent Conciliator is there to bring peace, to mediate, and to ensure that the population lives in harmony. Since 2016, I must put it this way, we've been in a very serious situation, the crisis here in the Southwest region. And we cannot also say that this office has not been playing somehow its role in ensuring peace. If we were to look at peace as peace in itself, how can you say this office has been working to restore peace in the, I know that we have enumerated issues, but to be specific on peace itself, how can this office really work for peace to reign in this region?
It's not how come. The office is already working to restore peace in the region. You know, every institution is created and given assigned missions. I have enumerated my missions. And in executing the missions, this office is ensuring that the grassroots population is well treated when they go to the councils, be they local or city councils. Every institution has its defined missions.
Yeah.
My own missions of bringing peace, of course, is by ensuring that people go to their collectivities and come out satisfied. Because when they come out satisfied and they are not asked unnecessary levies, which are not in the text, the message goes out. Do you know that I went to that office, I spent just 2,000 to make my child's birth certificate? That message goes out. And parents now who might have been scared that I don't have money, I don't know what amount to go to get my child a birth certificate. That is a very important instrument, just the birth certificate, that if parents can get and they are satisfied, it brings peace. But I, as a mother, I always call on the youths who are my and my brothers and sisters to say that it's important to live in peace. Development comes.
Happy weekend.